I've just come back. I had to cut the video. Had to go somewhere. So now I'm continuing the analysis, the market review. Um, yeah, Ethereum has moved a bit since um I was doing the review, but I was talking about selling a movement into this area, right? But also looked back and realized that here price didn't even need to reach this SR level in order to sell off and reject from there. So I've just marked this box here was the latest, yeah, the most recent consolidation before the drop. So if price was to trade into this level, I think this is a SAR, and you can assume that it's going to move lower. I do not entertain longs. I'm pretty sure that if price was to trade around here, we could see a bounce, but I just don't know how to define my risk around here, right? As well as I do if price trades higher. And because we have this short bias on Ethereum, and we think it trades somewhere around here before. Not if it was to go higher into, the Geely Open and 4K and, we all get rich and that talk. So, yeah, those are my views. Either selling here or selling here. But yeah, it's not looking that great. But anything can happen. Yeah, anything can happen. yeah, let's look at Bitcoin and see how this looks. Yeah, it's a bit in no man's land, right? Let's let's look at a fresh chart. Um, I think, man, that this is just one big ass range. Maybe you could move these lines higher, right? But see what I mean? This is a range, right? And it's in the it's in the middle of this upper part of the range. Let's see. So yeah, just by basically mapping out a range, you can see how it's easy to define our trades at the extremities, right? Um, long in here would be the best risk to reward we can get into the mid and possibly into this part. If this was to happen, we play longs. Um, I don't know if that will happen, but the mid part of this range, it also looks good to me to play longs, but it would be like really small movement if it were to happen. If we see price trade into this level, you could just play for a bounce and into um, 100k, or if it trades higher, we could also play the shorts into the mid-range, right? Let me just change the style. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. I do think it goes lower before higher. So I'm just trying to think of a way to get into a short here. yeah, I'm not too sure. I really am not too sure about how to trade Bitcoin um currently, but there's a lot of thin air above these highs, right? So just my guess that it wouldn't take much to spike Bitcoin above here before a significant rejection happens and you see trade into this level, right? So you could start scaling into shorts maybe around here, here, and here, 1/3, and invalidate yourself above there. If because I it would it would be um I just don't think that's going to trade into the upper part of the range. So I just think you sell any strength that you see on Bitcoin. Yeah, that would be a play. Um, and for the long side, yeah, thing is with this move is that it is pretty inefficient and fast, and you just wouldn't take much to drag price lower and fill some of this and offer a reaction, and then it trades lower. Yeah, this is what I think is going to happen this week. Yep. Um, and this would be all for Bitcoin. I'm going to look at this chart that I have right here and remove some lines. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think this is the monthly open. Yeah, it really is. And it's been acting as support all along. So yeah, I just don't think the risk to reward is there to play a breakdown short into this demand zone, which is the big mid-range we saw previously. Um, you could have your stop there and maybe attempt a short around here, but yeah, it's not that great. I mean, you could scale out on a close above the monthly open if after breaking down, then it reclaims, and then it would be something small, right? um Small loss, I mean. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not too sure. Much rather short around here, around here have a way better trigger in this SR zone, this resistance and support, right? It should act as resistance, and yeah, it's also, it's like I mentioned, this it's a lot of air above these highs. Hopefully we can get longs, we price get pushed into this level and can sell off and trade 100k. This will be my main play on Bitcoin. Oh, let's see more charts. What do we have here? Yes, let's cover. Yes, well, yeah, yeah. The S&P is not looking that great. I have a short bias here. Think you should trade this level. Maybe even possibly fill this gap around here. You know, it did not react great to a cold CPI, which would indicate that rate cuts um, could be in the way. Plus, we have a lot of uncertainty with the, Iran and Israel conflict going on. So I'm quite bearish. I just think that any attempt into this green level should get sold. And we've also broken down on this structure here and this line, which was support, right, has now acted as resistance. That's our first sign that, we could see price trade lower. That's where my money is, if I have to bet. Um, yeah. See, if I sell this level and I'm targeting this, there's a decent risk to reward here. You could even put it higher, but just is, this would be a practical stop loss. Um, you just don't want price to be accepted back above this level. So, if price started doing something like this and holding above, just cut it because it's not clean, right? If you're going to sell here because you think price is going to go lower and you're expecting that reaction or something like this, bam, 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 bounce, bounce, and then eventually sell off. Yeah, so this will be my main play. I don't see the bullish scenario on ES until we trade lower, and this is a nice target. I will get long here. I certainly would. Yeah. Let's look at another chart. Let's look at yeah, we've covered euro, pound, oil, Bitcoin, Ethereum, yeah, gold, silver, ES. I think I'm gonna do. I think we already did Oxygen. and I think I'm gonna do um, I think I'm gonna do Euro AUD, right? Because this one is interesting. I've been tracking this motherfucker down for quite some time now. And the thing is, this week it really surprised me because it was trading in this down channel, right? And this is the monthly open, so you have to remain short biased as long as price is trading below, right? And you know, when the week started and price was around here, I was not seeing a bullish scenario because my bullish scenario was reclaiming the monthly open and trade higher, but you were also trading into this resistance level. So I just didn't think this move was worth it, right? But price has pushed above the monthly open and this is our level, right? So, and you know, we've also broken above this trend line. Now price was trending lower, traded into this origin of the move up, then it started ranging, broke the trend line, and now it could possibly have changed the um, direction of the monthly candle, which was bearish up until last week. Yeah. So if we go back into the 4-hour chart, um, this is now bullish. I was hoping for price to trade lower into this level to get bulls deep long with high conviction, um, but price has done otherwise. So you know, there's no reason to go against what price is telling us, and price is bullish. So I think that this is where you get long, and price should not have a close below this level. I mean, I think that if you bid here, it is not wrong because this is a SAR level. So trying to get long and target 181 euro UD AUD, and I'm open to the fact that we could get a big week into the monthly open, but I do demand a strong reaction from it. So, you know, I would start doubting if I saw a close like this. Um, imagine this is a bearish candle, right? Um, I would not want to see something like this. I would like to see price react significantly from this level, but you know, if it closes below, really I demand a reaction from the monthly open, right? If the reaction is not there, then I'm out of this idea. But let me mark this with a box, because I think this is what I mean. This is our long area, right? We look for longs here. So maybe I would split my order in two pieces, right? One here and one here. One in the middle and another half at this level. And if price closes below the monthly open, I'm out. Because, you know, this is really bullish. We flipped this. This is SAR zone. We should see this reaction from here. But we could, you know, it doesn't have to happen like that. We could get a big wick into the monthly open, then reclaim, and that's a long. But this is um my last zone to go long. You know, yeah, it really shouldn't fuck with the monthly open that much if it's really bullish. So I might just set an alarm here. Well, I will. But yeah, this is the plan with Euro AUD. Yeah. Just let me do some drawing here on USD CAD, because I'm trying to snipe a bottom in here. I'm just trying to knife catch this piece of shit. Yeah, let's do something like this. Yeah, really, dollar CAD is in this downtrend. It really is in a channel. Um, last week it did something like it traded around here, which was a trend line break right here, but then it just broke down. So my, I would I just think that it's trading like, man, this area is the origin of this whole move up, right? Um, there is not much risk to reward for shorts here on dollar CAD. So I might be early thinking about longing, but it's a similar thought process that I had with Euro AUD, right? The origin of the movement of the expansion higher tends to be really important, and that's what I'm thinking here. I'm trying to find reasons to think that this market has bottomed. Um, yeah, I'm struggling to find a long trigger here, but I do think it's going to respect this channel. So maybe you could play longs on the channel into the upper bound and yes, expect some of this price action, but this zone is resistance until proven otherwise. And for me to really get bullish, maybe I would need to see dollar CAD maybe even trade lower and develop some sort of structure around this big box, or um, maybe it trading around here, just reclaiming this level. um, I think would be significant, but I just don't think it's gonna happen yet. So we'll keep an eye on this chart, but yeah, I just don't have a read on this. And lastly, I wanted to cover Eurogen, because I've been trying to trade Oxygen, um, because I think it's a market that's bottomed, right? But Aussie has not been the best currency lately. It's being a bit hard to trade against USD because it's been so rangy, and it hasn't offered big moves up, just like Euro and Pound and or Swissy have done. Um, but I do think that breaking this structure here, this downtrend, which it has done, and it's been flipped because now it acts as support. We saw that last week. So let me mark the monthly open. See where we are. Fucking hell! Look where we reacted from. Yeah, I just don't think it's going to be clean to trade because it might be bullish. I just think you buy any retest of the monthly open. Um, this area is SR. It's really clear that it's SR, and we would need price to break above and hold before calling significantly higher. But also because I see that Euro AUD is possibly going to trade higher. Maybe it's not a good week for AUD JPY or AUD USD, right? Um, yeah, look at this piece of shit. I cannot trade this. I'm being honest. I cannot trade this. This I cannot read shit here. But at least AUD USD has been telling us that this trend line is significant, and it still is, right? Um, yeah, look at this. It's been so choppy that I have no clue. I really have no clue, but um, maybe we see some strength on Aussie if it was to trade the monthly open and then you play longs into this trend line, and then you might see AUD JPY or Euro AUD JPY move higher, um, right? And that would mean this and maybe something like this later, right? When we see Aussie gain strength, we see AUD tank, because these flows happen in FX, and I've noticed them quite frequently. Normally, when Euro AUD performs really well, we see AUD USD really struggle, and with if the USD is bullish and AUD is really bullish, AUD USD is my preferred short uh, before euro or pound, right? Because I have this another FX pair that's giving me that confidence that the flows are really bearish for the currency, the AUD in this case. So yeah, I really think this is it, and I've covered most of my thoughts for next week. So we'll see you guys next week, and yeah, hopefully it's a profitable and an up week. Best of luck to everybody.